All right, if you bought into the myth that there should be some meet in the middle, mutually agreed to compromise to all issues and conflicts in relationship, this video is for you. Listen, there may be nothing more frustrating than spending time and energy on trying to resolve an issue that really has no resolution. And researchers have determined that more than half of the issues in relationships are unresolvable issues that we have to learn to manage and live with in a different way. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to describe the difference between a solvable issue and an unresolvable issue and what to do about it. That's today on Relation Shots. Hey, welcome to Relation Shots. My name is Eric Wooten. If this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome to the place to get practical relationship advice that actually works in your relationship. If you have not already done so, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss any upcoming videos. If you want a free guide to intimacy, you'll see a link in the description area below. Check that out. If you're looking for a place to strengthen your marriage, our Altar Marriage membership community is the place that you want to be. Access to all kinds of tools, resources, live Zoom calls, ladies' night, men's night. We got a community of people interacting. It's a great place to be if you want to strengthen your relationship. So let's talk conflict. I think that when it comes to conflict, you got people all across the spectrum. You got some people who avoid it, some people who love to step into it, some people who think that conflict signals the end of the relationship, other people that see conflict as a way to greater understanding and intimacy in the relationship. Whatever camp you come from, I need us all to get this one thought ingrained in our head. The primary purpose of conflict is mutual understanding. That's the win in conflict, mutual understanding. It's not you trying to be right. It's not you trying to win. It's not you trying to convince the other person that something's going on. It's not some perfect meet in the middle, 50-50 compromise where we both give a little and we always walk away happy. That cannot be the primary goal in conflict. What we really need is to gain mutual understanding. When we step into conflict, hopefully we're learning a little bit more about our partner's core needs, and we're also learning about the areas of flexibility or inflexibility they have. And at the end of the day, we got to figure out how to manage our differences and our conflicts, because we can't solve or resolve all conflicts. That's why I don't even like the term conflict resolution, because many of the times it's more about conflict management than it is conflict resolution. And if you are trying to resolve unresolvable problems or issues in a relationship, it's going to cause all kinds of frustration because you have the wrong expectation and you're trying to make something happen that never gonna happen. So what we need to do in relationship is we need to solve the solvable issues, and then we need to learn to manage the unresolvable issues, or what they call perpetual problems. So let's define the two. First are solvable problems, things such as you argue about housework, who picks up the kids from school on Thursdays, where to go on vacation, what to eat for dinner, the line item priorities on the budget. The conflict is about the topic and nothing deeper. There's no deeper meaning, right? They just leave the clothes on the floor. He just leaves the toilet lid up. These are issues, but there's nothing deeper behind it. And with solvable problems, they're solvable because there is actually a solution, and the solution is sustainable. That's key. There has to be a solution. The solution actually has to be something we can sustain over time, right? So you go back to the chore issue. So we split the housework. You go back to picking the kids up from school. Maybe we trade off picking up the kids from school. Maybe we can't decide on where to go to vacation. Maybe we're able to find a place where we both get to do a little bit of what we enjoy, or we take turns. You pick vacation this year, I'll pick vacation next year. There's a solution to those, and that solution is actually sustainable over time. Those are solvable problems, and we should do our best to solve them. It doesn't mean there's easy. It doesn't mean there's no work, because it actually takes some effort to keep to the agreement with which we've made in these areas, but they are actually solvable issues. The unsolvable issues are what we call perpetual problems, and they're things such as differences in basic needs, punctuality, organization, amount of time spent alone or together, how you relate to in-laws or family. These are problems that are centered on either your personality or your lifestyle preferences, and these should not be resolved. We shouldn't even try to resolve them, because we never will resolve them. The key with perpetual problems is we've got to get to a place of both understanding and accepting our partner as who they are. Now, I know what some of you are saying, well, I just can't accept some of the behavior listen, I'm not talking about toxic, unhealthy behavior. Obviously, it's going to be hard to accept somebody who continually is unfaithful to you, all right? Or has addiction issues, or is abusive. I'm not talking about any of those issues, but most of our perpetual problems are not toxic and unhealthy. They're based around our basic needs and our lifestyle, right? Somebody wants a little more connectedness where the other person wants more independence. Like I said before, somebody has an issue with punctuality. They can't ever get there on time. And if you've got a partner who can't ever get anywhere on time, you already understand you've had a million fights about it and it's still not being resolved. So you have to learn how to manage it better. So the key with perpetual problems or unresolvable problems is twofold. We both accept them for who they are, but we also learn to accommodate one another, which means we're taking a step towards the other person in this area, but we're probably never going to completely close the gap, right? So we may be here, and if you're trying to get here, that's not going to happen because this is unresolvable. But if we're here and we can both take a step towards each other, there's less of a gap between our differences, which is much easier to manage. So the key to perpetual problems is how can we accommodate each other in these areas? And then also, how can we just learn to accept and celebrate our differences rather than continuing to fight to try to change those, because that's never going to happen. And that's why people who get divorced because there's too many problems in a relationship get married again only to find that they have a whole new set of perpetual problems in this other relationship. Now, usually in the dating process, they're going to eliminate the ones that frustrated them last time, right? By finding somebody who's not like that. But they also realize this person is different in a bunch of other ways, which sets up a whole new set of unresolvable issues. So I would say this: if you're dating, these are the things you need to explore. You need to be exploring and having conversations around the areas of difference in your relationship. And we've actually got a document that I'll put a link to below that explores about 21 different areas of differences that you absolutely need to be talking about. If you're already married and you didn't talk about these things, then I would say you probably want to sit down and talk about them and figure out how are some ways you can accommodate and accept each other in those areas. But if you're dating, you talk about them, and if you don't believe you can accept them, this is a great time to know that and a great time to get out of the relationship before you decide to get married and complicate everything. So those are the differences between solvable problems and perpetual or unresolvable problems, and how you manage both. Solvable, we're going to try to find compromises. We're going to make those work. We're going to solve the issues, and we're going to sustain that over time so that we no longer have to have conflict or fights around that. The unresolvable, perpetual problems, we got to learn to accept the other person for who they are, celebrate those differences, be grateful that you don't want somebody just like you. That's why you ended up with this person. But you got to celebrate those differences, and you need to learn to accommodate each other a little in those differences, understanding your spouse has different needs than you and different personal lifestyle choices than you and preferences. And so how can you accommodate each other, accept each other, and give each other room to be independent and still be yourselves in a relationship? So that's solvable and unresolvable. Quit wasting all your energy on unresolvable issues, trying to solve them. That's going to frustrate you and get you to a place of hopelessness. Solve the solvable. Learn to accept and accommodate the unresolvable, and I promise you, your relationship will go a lot better. Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Let us know some of the areas in your relationship that you have learned are perpetual problems. They keep coming up again and again, and you're not going to resolve them. How do you manage and accommodate them? Drop a comment in the comment section below. If we can help you in any area of your relationship, we'd love to walk with you on your relationship journey. Hit us up, check the links below. Until next time, we'll see you right back here on Relation Shots.